Welcome to Ålesund, easily one of the most beautiful towns in Norway. Now Norway has a bit of a reputation for being expensive, but if your cruise is stopping here, you don't have to spend a fortune on a pricey excursion to have a brilliant day here. We're docked here with celebrity EP6, and in this video, we'll share our experience of our time at this port without breaking the bank. Let's go, go, go! Hi fellow travelers, it's Ken here and welcome to my channel, Ken Travels 360. We're currently sailing on Celebrity EP6 on an 8-night Norwegian Fjords cruise. We've already stopped at a couple of ports in Norway, but today our ship has docked in the breathtaking town of Ålesund, and we're so ready to explore. Ever since I saw those photos taken from the top of the hill, I knew we had to come here. So let's go grab some breakfast and then head off the ship and explore Ålesund together. Let's go! Morning!
Thank you.
Yay! Alright, we just stepped off Celebrity EP6 and it's a gorgeous morning here in Ålesund. Earlier it was raining a lot, but now it's great. The great thing about Ålesund is that the cruise dock is actually super close to the town center and it's a very easy walk to start our exploration. Check out the view! Ålesund is nestled right on the water, spread across all these islands. It's picture perfect already.
It certainly looks different from all the other Norwegian towns we've been to.
That's true, and there's a good reason for that. We'll show you in a second. Let's head into the town center and do a little exploring first. Okay, we're officially in Art Nouveau heaven, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
The interesting thing I've noticed at these four buildings here is about the windows. The ground floor always have very big windows, sometimes flat, but mostly curved. Then the next ones, all the other ones, are all the same size but smaller. And then you have a layer on the top with tiny, tiny windows. Yeah. And I'm wondering what that's about.
Yeah.
It's the same in all the buildings.
And of course, all of them have turrets and pointy spires everywhere.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Like little hats.
Right now, we are on Apotheker Gata, one of the most famous streets for Art Nouveau architecture. And you can see why. So here's a quick backstory. In 1904, a massive fire tore through Ålesund, and I mean massive. Pretty much the entire town burned down in a single night.
But instead of rebuilding with the same old wooden houses, they actually went full on Art Nouveau using bricks.
Exactly. That's called Jugendstil, as it's called in Norway. This was the trendy European architectural style at the time. Think curved lines, pastel colors, and flowery motifs. To really understand the story behind Ålesund's architecture, we're heading into Jugendstilsenteret, the Art Nouveau Center. And get this, the museum itself is housed in the Old Swan Pharmacy, which is one of the best preserved Art Nouveau interiors in town.
You see the golden swan on the front.
This building is actually one of the very few that survived the fire. There's an entry fee to visit the Art Nouveau Museum, but it also includes the Cube Art Museum next door. We'll pop in there later and show you what that one's all about. The museum's inside what used to be a pharmacy, and the moment you walk in, it still feels like one. The wooden counters, the glass jars, all the little vintage medicine bottles. It's like stepping into a scene from the early 1900s. To begin the visit, you follow a sinuous staircase up to the first floor. This was originally the private residence of the pharmacist. but now it's been turned into the heart of the museum. You'll find lots of period furniture, Art Nouveau detail, and a real sense of what life would have been like. Well, in the exhibition here, they explain how access to daylight was a very important priority for Art Nouveau architects. So you will see all these stained glass windows around, really beautiful, aren't they?
Really lovely golden wallpaper here. This feels like we've walked into some kind of period drama. Look at these lovely glass bottles. So earlier I mentioned about Japanese wallpaper that we found, and now here's a wall of Japanese art. And actually here, an interesting commentary about the role of Japan in this process. They've been closed off for over 200 years and only opened up to the outside world in the 1850s. And the influence of their art spread across the world very quickly and influenced Art Nouveau significantly, particularly its treatment of natural products like trees and in the 1800s, Norway became independent again after hundreds of years of rule by Denmark and Sweden. And what we learn here is that the people in Norway wanted something that expressed their independence. And this architecture and art style called Dragastil or dragon style evolved, and it evolved at the same time as Art Nouveau and was influenced by it. So lots of flowing lines and so on, as well as dragons, of course.
Back on the ground floor, there's something called the Time Machine. It's a small cinema room with a short film that takes you through the dramatic 1904 fire and how Ålesund rose from the ashes, rebuilt in striking Art Nouveau style. So the time machine is about to open, and you just mentioned that we have to choose a language. Luckily, nobody else is around.
We'll choose English, I think. Ooh.
Into the time machine.
Axis of evil.
And we're better able.
Get it, people.
The entire town was a sea of flames, and above that were millions and millions of sparks. I will never forget the sea of flames.
So we just saw a presentation which touched on the importance of the shape of windows in Art Nouveau. It's a good example here. Ground floor, big windows and arched as well. The next floor's much smaller windows, and the top floor's tiny windows. It's where the staff used to live up here.
So when you pay for the admission for the Jugendstilsenteret, you also get access to the Art Museum, Cube. So we're gonna go have a look. So currently the exhibition is all about tapestry, including some famous work, but now we imagine in tapestry. Right, we spent enough time indoors, soaking up art and history. Now, let's head outside and see the city from its most iconic viewpoint. Now, if there is one thing you must do in Ålesund, it's this: climb Mount Aksla. There are 418 steps from the town center right up to the viewpoint. And yes, it's gonna be a bit of workout, but the reward is gonna be totally worth it. That's 47 steps done, about 10%. "108 steps and the view is already really awesome." Well, just over halfway up now, and already the views are teasing through the trees. You get glimpses of the harbour, the ships, and those lovely pointed rooftops that we saw earlier. 408. And there we go. We have got to the top. This is the iconic Fiestua viewpoint, and it absolutely lives up to the hype. You can see the entire layout of Ålesund, how it's built on these islands, and the beautiful Art Nouveau buildings. But from up here, the town really feels like a sculpture. Even the cruise ship looks miniature down there. You can just see the apex docked and waiting. Oh, I so wish I hadn't lost my drone in Ålesund. This is the perfect place to fly the drone, and I would have taken so many amazing shots here, but it's not to be. But the views here are still amazing. The symmetry of the buildings, the lines of the fjords, and the color of the sea. It's one of those views that feel unreal until you are here. If you've been enjoying this video, please whoop the like button and subscribe for more from this amazing Norwegian cruise. More ports, more fjords, and a few surprises coming up. Well, we are now ready to go back down and get back onto the ship. What an incredible day exploring Ålesund on our own. From the stunning Art Nouveau architecture and the fascinating Jugendstilsenteret to that absolutely unforgettable view from here, Mount Aksla, it has been completely charming. Doing a self-guided tour was so rewarding. We could go at our own pace and really just soak it all in. Ålesund is really a Norwegian gem. So that was our day in Ålesund. What do you think? Have you been here? Or is it on your list? Let us know in the comments below. For our walk back to the ship, we decided to mix things up and take the scenic route along the waterfront, because I wanted to take more photos of those postcard perfect sea channels. Ålesund has this way of looking like it's hovering on the water, with colorful houses teetering at the edge, their reflections showing off like they know they are photogenic. You'll spot little boats bobbling gently and the occasional kayakers gliding past. This is certainly not a bad way to end our self-guided tour. And just like that, we're back on Celebrity Apex. But before we go, here's one final treat as we sail out of Ålesund, weaving through the islands and open water on our way to Stavanger. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along on our Ålesund adventure. If you've missed any of our earlier vlogs from the other Norwegian ports on this cruise, just click on one of these to catch up. I'll see you over there. Ciao ciao.